Alright guys, so today is currently September 2nd, 2024, and this morning we took one winning trade and one losing trade. The losing trade was accidental. I don't know if this is something that happens to you guys, but basically I set a limit order and I actually didn't know it was active, but once I did realize it, I was trying to close the order and it just would not close. And this is on like multiple different platforms, right? I honestly don't know why, or this is something you guys notice too, but on Mondays from like 12 p.m. to like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, the markets just like don't allow any orders. It's like kind of closed, even though on TradingView it says it's opened. Like orders are just not allowed to get either closed or like filled, right? When I was trying to close out the orders, it just would not let me. And eventually I just left it alone because I'm like, okay, I'll check back on it later. But I get a notification saying that my stop loss was triggered and I just knew like, fuck. That really sucks because that took a pretty big hit on my account. Like we're back down into the negatives, even though this morning we just got out of it and it was a really good trade as well. But this just took it like basically all back, which, you know what? It is what it is. I just have to be more careful next time, but this was just like an unnecessary loss. You know, I won't let this get to me. It's a start of a new week and there are plenty more opportunities to come. And honestly, I'm feeling good about this week. So yeah, let's get into the trade. Alright, so we're on the 1 minute time frame. I drew a Fibonacci from the bottom right here to the top. That's how we get this equilibrium area, which is the 0.5. Here we have an order block and an inverse fair value gap. So at this point, we mark out buy side liquidity, 2 a.m. high and 2 a.m. low. So here on NASDAQ, we have SMTs going down, and then on the S&P 500, we have SMTs going up. So at this point, I think that price can continue lower, sweeping the 2 a.m. low and then a potential movement to the upside. So at this point, I'm like, okay, we have SMTs, we sweep the 2 a.m. low, and I'm looking for price to draw towards equilibrium. And once price drew to equilibrium, I was waiting for some kind of rejection of this order block and a creation of a swing high, right? So here, price dipped into the order block, started retracing. Here was the swing high that I decided to take the break of structure off of. So basically, little swing high here, price displays higher, and we close above this right here, right? At this point, we did have a little fair value gap right over here, and I placed my entry at the bottom. So once price did hit this area, I was entered into a trade, right? The stop loss was down here, get entered. We almost hit stop loss, but you know what? Price did continue higher, which is amazing. And because we were on a 7 trade losing streak, I didn't want to just go all the way up just to come back all the way down, right? So I decided to just target the buy side liquidity resting right here. We aimed for low hanging fruit, and yeah, I mean, this trade was honestly pretty good. I was very patient. I followed my strategy and it went pretty smoothly. Now, as you can see here, we missed out on quite a bit had we just left it at the 2 a.m. high, but that is hindsight. And also, once we did actually hit the 2R mark, I moved my stop loss to break even, so it was a risk-free trade. I'm still hyped up for this week, and yeah, let's just stick to the plan and continue to execute our strategy flawlessly, or at least to the best of our abilities. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next trade. Alright guys, so today is currently September 3rd, 2024. And today I took a trade on NAS 100, which resulted in a $58.88 loss. I did get slipped $8.88, which does suck, but you know, that's how it goes, right? So basically, on the 1 minute chart, I drew a fib from the top here to the bottom right over here. And at this point, I thought this was equilibrium. As you can see, it clearly wasn't. But my other thought process was that here we had accumulation. I thought we would manipulate and then continue higher. But as you can see, price never went up. I usually notice that when price retraces to equilibrium, as well as into a PD array and starts to reject off of it, that's when I notice the win rate goes up, or that's when I notice my chances of success goes up. But in this case, none of that occurred. For this trade, I thought price could retrace towards equilibrium, or like withdraw towards equilibrium. But as you can see, in hindsight, this wasn't equilibrium. So basically here, I took the trade. I saw this as a little swing, displacement, retracement to fair value gap. Price went up and then went back down, stopped me out, which honestly really sucks, but that's basically how this trade went. And I was targeting these highs right here. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next trade. Alright guys, so today is currently September 4th, 2024. I took a trade this morning, which resulted in a $54.55 loss, as you can see right down there. So we're currently down like 1.27% on the account. Alright, so basically we're on the 1 minute time frame on NAS 100. I marked out the 9 a.m. high and the 9 a.m. low, and basically price swept up here. We made a swing low and we displaced lower, right? That's why I decided to take a short position entry on the fair value gap right over here. And basically, I thought price could potentially go lower, but honestly, in hindsight, like, there was no reason for price to go lower. Like, we already went all the way down here. All the sell side was swept all over here, and there's buy side being generated up here. So basically, I just got stopped out. There's not too much to say about this trade. What I should have done was just look at where price was overall. Like, there's honestly no reason for price to continue lower, but I still decided to take the short, which, yeah. But that'll be all for now. I'll catch you guys in the next trade. Alright guys, so today is currently September 5th, 2024. And this morning I took 2 trades, which resulted in 2 losses. So I'll quickly show you guys down here. One was around $49 and the other one was $51. So overall today we're down around like 1% on the account, which really sucks, but let's just get into the trade recap. So for the first trade, I was looking for price to continue higher, right? Basically on the daily time frame, we have price drawing towards equilibrium. And that is what this blue line right over here is for. I just drew the fib from the bottom to the top, and the 0.5 is this blue line right over here. And then on the 1 minute time frame, so as you can see here, we have the 2 trades, but basically this is the first one. So at this point, I mark out all the buy side. We have 2 a.m. high, 2 a.m. low. Price sweeps the 2 a.m. low. We have SMT. And we're retracing towards a 5-minute order block, which price starts to reject off of. So SMT on NAS 100, and then S&P 500, we have the SMT right here. And basically, price did continue on without me, but I decided to leave a limit order. So actually, this was the initial entry. Price swept 2 a.m. low, SMTs formed, rejection off the 5-minute order block, and there was a little fair value gap right over here. And I put the limit order at the bottom of the fair value gap. And as you can see, price just climbed all the way up without me. And I placed this limit order after price displaced past these highs over here. So that was the initial limit order. And it would have been a 3.5 risk to reward. But because price continued higher up to this area right here, I actually moved my entry and reduced the risk. So I moved the limit order to the bottom of this fair value gap right over here. So initial entry down here, price continued higher without me, so I moved the limit order up. And I also adjusted the risk, so I'd only lose around $50, which is 0.5 of the account. And as you can see here, I never actually hit TP, but we got entered, continued higher, very close to TP. The TP is this swing right over here. Yeah, we just got stopped out. So this was the second entry, and I adjusted it because price continued higher without me, right? And as you can see, if we actually just left the original limit order, we actually would have made a profit. That's what being greedy got me. I don't know if it wasn't necessarily being greedy. It was just like wanting to get into the trade. That's why I moved the limit order up so I'd get filled. But as you can see, like, this risk to reward is a lot better than this one right here. So yeah, that honestly really sucks. The whole idea was that we had a bunch of buy sides sitting up here, so I was looking for price to sweep and continue higher. And moving on to the second trade, well, as you can see here, this is not part of the trade, but we actually did sweep all these lows and then retrace towards equilibrium as well as into the daily fair value gap. And then overnight price just continued higher, right? So unfortunate we missed on the first time, which honestly, it is what it is. So basically for the second trade, we have the 9 a.m. high and the 9 a.m. low. I was honestly looking for price to continue lower after a massive sweep of the buy side over here. And so once we swept the 9 a.m. high, we made a swing low right over here. Price displaced lower, and I set an entry at the fair value gap that was created right over here. It was very small, but as you can see, it is right over here. And I placed it at the top. So yeah, I mean, we displaced past a swing low and set the entry at the fair value gap. As you can see, we just got stopped out, and eventually price came all the way down here to the 9 a.m. low. So at first, because I just took the loss, I was just going for low hanging fruit. So I just took the previous swing low right over here as the take profit. If I were to do the actual like full trade, it would have been the 9 a.m. low. Obviously this is hindsight, but honestly it really sucks. We got stopped out and price continued towards our direction. So yeah, I mean, I noticed that like there's nothing wrong with the strategy. Like I feel like there's definitely like the strategy definitely works. It's a little bit of luck, and also just there's definitely something to do with me personally. I still have to figure that out. I think I'm just entering emotionally a little bit sometimes. Yesterday's trade was honestly like it was honestly a really good trade. I just unfortunately moved the limit entries. Price never actually hit my TP. Had I just left the initial limit order there, we would have gotten such a great entry and a great risk reward. Like it literally just tipped into the bottom of this fair value gap and continued straight to TP. But you know what, guys? We just have to keep going. So yeah, I'll just catch you guys in the next one. Alright guys, so today is currently September 6th, 2024. I took a trade last night in the London session and it resulted in a loss. So basically, I'll show you guys the chart right here. I got stopped out really bad. And so here we entered, got stopped out. We lost $58.56. So yeah, let's just get to the charts. So basically on the daily time frame, I marked out equilibrium, which is the bottom right here to the top right over here. And this is the equilibrium line. Let's just go to the 1 minute. So basically the trade was taken last night. I wanted price to continue higher to sweep out this buy side, right? But first, once the London session started, we started to sweep 9 a.m. low. We did also start to move towards equilibrium, which is right over here. And eventually we started moving into the daily fair value gap. So once price moved all the way down, I started to see some consolidation here. We do have a swing high right here. We broke structure and there's a fair value gap. It's very small, located right over here, right? And basically I took the entry off of this fair value gap. There was also a order block located right over here. So price went up, went back down. We got entered into the trade. And I was looking for price to bounce off this order block as well. Let's just play price forward. So right off the bat, we take our entry. It's going great. Yeah, so at this point, we're up. I go to bed. Price continues to move lower. I get wicked out right down here. Sorry, my take profit is at the 2 a.m. high located right over here. And I got wicked out down here. Let me play price forward. So price consolidates, and we eventually take out the 2 a.m. high, as well as all this buy side resting up here. So yeah, I mean, we've gone wicked out or stopped out a couple times this week. It's not great. Oh man, I honestly had a lot of conviction in this trade, so I'm not too bummed out about the loss. It was just unlucky. But we had a bunch of resting buy side, swept the 2 a.m. low into daily equilibrium, daily fair value gap, created a swing high, broke structure, set a limit order at the fair value gap at the bottom, and then rejected off order blocks. So yeah, I mean, overall, this trade I thought was pretty good. Unfortunately, we did get wicked out. So yeah. Alright guys, so that'll be all for this video. I took 7 trades this week, 1 winner, 6 losses. We are in a 6 trade losing streak, which honestly sucks. But I'm not too bummed out about it because 2 trades were something I definitely could have avoided for losses. They were just human error, like silly mistakes. The other 2 were unfortunate. I got stopped out. And the rest were just, trades I definitely could have done a lot better on in terms of adding more confluence to my strategy or when I was taking an entry. So we're currently down 2.86% on the FTMO phase 1 account. I know I said last week I was looking forward to this week and I was feeling good about it. And yeah, I'm just going to say the same thing again. I feel like recently I'm getting, I wouldn't say like numb to losses. Like I'm starting to understand that taking losses are just a part of the journey. My thing is that, it's not great to have 6 trade losing streaks, 7 trade losing streaks, but it's still a part of the game. I just have to slowly learn and improve from every loss. So yeah. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a free Discord community. Link is in the description below. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And as always, for those of you who are on the same journey as me, we just have to endure the losses and just keep going. So anyways guys, peace.